Golden Souls is one of the coolest Doom 2 mods I have played in a very long time. It's kinda like Doom mixed with a collectathon platformer. What's funny about that is way back when I talked about Doom Eternal in 2020, I described the game as being like Banjo-Kazooie with a shotgun because it had a lot of collectibles and platforming. So finally it comes full circle. It's also a love letter to the Super Nintendo era of video games with tons of not at all subtle winks and nods to all those classic millennial nostalgia artifacts. You can almost smell the pizza bagel bites through the screen. Y'all remember Chubby? That shit was awesome. Well, whatever. The premise is that the Union Aerospace Corporation, or UAC, stumbled upon an ancient mansion full of paintings not dissimilar to Peach's castle, and they discover that these paintings can transport people to other worlds full of golden souls, a powerful energy source, before getting attacked by monsters who want to use it to destroy Earth. It's a lot like a whimsical take on Doom 16 and Eternal's premise. There are even these cute childish illustrations showing you all what's happening. This intro alone sold me on the game before it even started. This game is a big, sprawling adventure spanning several hours. I have to confess something real quick. Usually I don't review a game unless I've reached the end credits, but the only exception to this rule is during these time-sensitive marathons. Because I have to maintain a consistent workflow, I cannot spend a grotesque amount of time on one single game. What this means is that if a fan game or a ROM hack that I'm playing takes more than like 3 or 4 hours to reach the end, I will beat as much of it as I possibly can before writing the video, but I probably won't play it all the way to the end. And that is purely due to time constraints. With the exception of the wonderful Pikmin New Year, which is as long as Pikmin 2, every game I played for the marathon up to this point has typically ranged anywhere from half an hour to 3-ish hours, at least for a pro like me. Golden Souls actually ended up being longer than that, so the highest compliment that I can give this game is that I got 6 hours of footage and reached the end credits. And that is simply because I couldn't put it down. It's the shooting of Doom, but with the simple collectathon pleasures of Banjo-Kazooie. I don't gotta explain nothing. The gameplay is GZ Doom, but we got all kinds of new weapons and animations. You start out with a revolver because Doom Guy was a cowboy the entire time. You do have the shotgun, which has been upgraded to have 2 shots, but there's also the fully automatic shotgun with 8 shells that just goes bam 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 bam. You also got a big assault rifle and the nail gun taken right out of Quake. The bullets even bounce off the walls so you can do trick shots. There's also a portable pirate cannon, and if my name was Video Game Cornelius Donkey, I would tell you that it could blow everybody to kingdom fuck. There's also the broken ass rainbow laser that kills enemies in one shot with a gay rainbow. The combat is surprisingly intense at times, and it doesn't feel broken or horribly unbalanced. It is worth noting that I played on the hard difficulty because I'm one bad dude. You have to assess in real time which weapons are ideal for which situations and whether or not you should be conservative with your resources. I think my favorite levels in this game are the really wide open ones where you can snipe enemies from 300 miles away with the assault rifle. It makes me feel like a badass. The only downside is that they can do it too, so you'd better watch out and you'd better not cry. Because Santa Claus is coming to town and this time he ain't got nothing but coal. The levels offer an incredible amount of variety, no two of them look the same. They're always aiming to recreate the scenery of either a different game or an entirely different world from within the same game. There's this icy winter night level with soft Mario Galaxy music playing in the background. The juxtaposition between the epic violence and the whimsical world and soundtrack is very funny. Kinda like when a movie will show a horrifically gory scene with Vivaldi playing over top of it. We got this dark castle level with Castlevania music, a space level with DuckTales music, a world in the sky with Super Mario World music, a big, beautiful Yoshi's Island level, Donkey Kong Country with caves and jungles, and we even got a Sonic world. Aw yeah! This is happening! If you played a lot of video games in the 90s, there's gonna be something here for you. I mean, it's already a Doom mod, so that was kind of a given. I think the truly great achievement of these levels is that it's not just texture work, backgrounds, and music that are authentic to the source material, but they feel as though they are designed and laid out in the same way as well. There's even an endless staircase reference in here. No joke. And before you ask, no, I did not try to BLJ. I have yet to see a Doom mod where you can do that. I mean, realistically, there probably is one, but I haven't found it yet. Even though there are a lot of Nintendo properties obviously favoring Mario, it doesn't really do the game justice to call this Mario Doom. The level of variety and the way it's been brought into the world of Doom makes it feel very much like its own thing. An example of this is the Sniffets, who've been turned into these tall, cloaked mage things that spit cannonballs at you. You also have these giant carnivorous plants that spit fire at you, and these flying wizard boys that keep disappearing and reappearing like assholes. And on top of that, you also got the Lost Souls, who now behave like boos in that they can only become visible and damageable when you look away, so you gotta keep pulling these 360 quickscopes on the fly just to be able to damage them. I hate these guys. It's kinda like a high fantasy setting mixed with the whimsy of Nintendo, and all the shooting and blood of Doom. On paper, these elements might not seem super cohesive, but the original Doom was like, hey, it's aliens, except it's also demons, and it's Mars, and it's hell. Like, who gives a shit? It's fun. Graphically, the game is incredible. The lighting is absolutely fantastic and very immersive, and you even got fog effects that quite literally make the atmosphere thicker. Look at that. That's mad thick right there. I love this desert level where you enter this ancient tomb, a yellow fog thickens up, and then you hear it. Fucking redeads, boy. That is the last thing I wanted to hear. On the other hand, there is also the hub world, which you can explore on your own terms. There's a store where you can spend the coins you receive in the levels to get armor, health, and ammo. It kinda reminds me of Wolfenstein Blade of Agony, but with more mushrooms. As long as you unlock the doors to the paintings by collecting enough secret big coins, you can enter the worlds in any order you want, and on top of that, if you leave a level, none of your progress goes away, so if you get stuck or bored with a level, as long as you don't immediately need another golden soul, you can just leave and come back when you feel like tackling it again. The big coins also add a lot of replay value, where you can unlock more perks and levels by collecting them all. Some of them are pretty well hidden though, so you really gotta put on some of those Jacksepticeye double seeing glasses. I think the biggest beef I have with this game is the platforming. Sometimes it works pretty well, but then you have other times where falling off a very narrow cliff means dying and losing everything. In Doom, the movement has always been very glidey and slippery, where once you let go of the movement key, Doom Guy has to slow to a stop. It was fine in the original game because it wasn't usually dependent on super precise maneuvers, unless you're playing those weirdo expansions. In here, it can be very precarious, especially when they start adding bullet bills to the mix. Typically, one of those things on its own would have been enough of a problem, but hey, that's just me. At worst, it makes abusing the quick save feature very tempting, but if you can put up with a sprinkle of jank, you will experience an incredibly fun and refreshing take on classic Doom and a wonderful love letter to what a lot of people refer to as the golden age of video games. But, I mean, they didn't have Saints Row. Ho ho ho! Thank you for watching today's video, and would you look at that? We've already reached the halfway point. Only 12 more days until Christmas, ho ho. Now, as golden as this video was, to many other young gamers, the word golden has an entirely different meaning. But that's for tomorrow. So have a good evening, and Merry Christmas to all.